Bruce Lund here, WeBeToys. Each one of these is kind of like a prototype, the podcast. They're not perfect. We don't have any notes. We just turn the camera on and we shoot. We'd like to tell you a little bit about a company that we worked with and many of the products that we licensed to them. There's a company over in the UK called Vivid Imaginations. They were at one point the biggest British toy company. But most of these companies have been bought by other companies over the years. But we knew the people, and gosh knows, we had such a good time working with those people. We enjoyed the cellar temperature beer over there that we would drink with my compadres. Anyway, so we showed a lot of products to Vivid, and one of the things they liked were plush. And this was one of the first plush they did, the Animal Hospital license. And they took a doll, a concept that we had in a doll that we sold to, I think, Kenner years ago, and then later Hasbro re-brought it back. And it had a tongue action with the doll. It had a lollipop, but that was dropped because of Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky. So the doll was dropped. But later on, we were able to relicense it as a puppy dog, licking his bone, drinking his water. Anyway, after that, we had another product for them. Sonny, the pick-me-up pup. Now, I'd like to show you how this works, but you know what? I'm going to have to dig into these. These are, I've never taken them out of package. And they are now 20 years old. So I'm going to need to take them out of package, put fresh batteries in and see if I can get them working, and I will show that video. But what he would do is he would jump up and down, because what do dogs do when you see them for the first time every day? They act like you've been gone for years. And there you are. You've only been gone a couple hours, and they are so ecstatic, which is one of the reasons that we like dogs. Well, this was a dog that was ecstatic every time it saw you. And so that did okay also. Now, this became part of the AniMagic line later on. We showed some products to Vivid that they loved, and they wanted to make a line of products out of them. But at that point, it was just an animated dog, and they didn't have a line yet. But as we continued to show these products, they finally came up with a concept, which became AniMagic. Now, here's something I don't want you to tell anybody, because this is top secret. In fact, we have to edit this out, Paul. But, you know, they gave us the Inventor of the Year award for creating the AniMagic line, because it was so successful for them. And but then, and generally speaking, when you create a line, you get a royalty on every product in the line. But they started making products with AniMagic, and they weren't paying us any royalty. And we tried to explain to them, or tried to understand, why are we not being paid a royalty? Well, you know, the reason we're not being paid a royalty is because they didn't want to pay us a royalty. And what are we going to do about that anyway, huh? Well, we worked with Vivid for years. We showed them a few plush concepts, which I showed you a dog that they liked. And then they were doing a line of ponies. And so we showed them a pony concept. This is a fashion head pony concept. That's what people in the toy business call it. It's a fashion head. Nobody ever made a fashion head doll or horse before. And they got excited by that. And they made this. And here you can fix the hair and do the makeup and such. Never been out of the box. I'm not going to take it out right now. But they did pretty well with this. And then related to that, we sold them a similar concept, Magic Pony Care Paddock. And this came from another concept we have where you could feed a horse. Because feeding animals is a big deal. And so this little tiny pony you could feed. And now, Mattel came out with a similar concept where they also fed it, and you think, oh, they must have stole our idea. But let me tell you something about ideas. Ideas come from people like us, and we are always looking everywhere for ideas. And a lot of us, if you see something and you come up with an idea based on it, there's a very good chance somebody else has also seen the same thing. And their process is much the same, and they may very well come up with the same idea. So, and many times it may seem like somebody stole your idea, but in fact, it's just people inventing the same product again and again. So, I think that's what happened with the Mattel product, and but it also ate ate and pooped, which we did very well with Doggy Doo many years later. We worked with Vivid for years, and we showed them many products that they really wanted to make a line of products, and one of which we showed them was a dog very much like this one, and they loved that, but they said, boy, I really wish we had a line of products. Well, they hadn't come up with a line of products yet, but it was a dog like this that had all kinds of animation, and later on they did make this product as part of AniMagic. But before that, probably the most significant was a pony that we made. And we'll show you that one because that was very, very successful and sort of got the AniMagic line up on the market, and the buyers now were interested because the pony did so well. I'll show you that in a moment. Continuing to work with Vivid, this was probably the first product in the AniMagic line. And it was a pony, and it did very, very well. And probably because it did so well, we were named Inventor of the Year for creating the AniMagic line with Vivid. And this was probably the most successful. You've seen the puppy dog, that did pretty good. Many products in Vivid did well. They never did quite as well as the products from Hasbro because smaller company. And one may say that Hasbro did a better job of the products than Vivid did, but Vivid still had a great deal of success. Another success in Vivid was Peanuts. Kids love dogs and cats. There was also a cat done as well, just like this. They're sweet and they make noises and they're animated and they just do all kinds of stuff that kids love. And so another part of the successful AniMagic line. But the line continued. Another successful product with AniMagic then was the Bumble or Bramble. This is a animated pet rabbit. And we also had an animated pet hamster. Now, we had this idea of making an animated pet hamster and then making all of the characters, the hamster house and the rabbit house and the toys, etc., etc. But at the same time, my good friend, Russell Hornsby, came up with his line of animated hamsters, which ultimately became Toy of the Year, and they sold billions and billions of dollars. And their toy was probably better than our toy. Theirs was just on wheels, where we tried to get ours to walk. It takes a lot of time and effort to get it to walk, whereas theirs ran. Anyway, theirs was a phenomenal success. Ours was okay. But they're cute little critters nonetheless. So this was one of the last bits of AniMagic in our long series of studies with Vivid Imaginations. And I just want to say thank you to Paul and all the people at Vivid Imaginations. We love working with you guys. We continue to work with Vivid on all kinds of products, a lot of which were plush concepts. And as we developed a plush item, and you've seen a few of these that were items, we realized we do better off if we can create a line of products where there'd be many, many products as part of the line rather than just a single item. Now, a single item, if you have a TMX Elmo, for example, phenomenally successful. But a lot of single items don't make much money. And whereas a line is going to go for years and you'll have many products. So one of which we created was Flufflings. Flufflings has my daughter's laughter in it, I believe. It's sort of an animated ball. You can roll it, you can toss it. And it says, I'm having fun, I'm dizzy, I love attention. And that's my daughter's voice. And her kissing sound. Yeah. So, and they made several of these in the line. And then they even made the smaller version here. I think they have one you could press down and then it will pop back up. This one, I don't think you press it down. This is just sort of squishy and it's more of a keychain kind of thing. But Flufflings was a successful line with Vivid. Fungus Among Us. I love that name, by the way. Fungus Among Us was a line we created with our good friends at Vivid Imaginations, and they wanted a line, and so Fungus Among Us we created. Now these are small characters, called them droids, because they kind of grew on their own, animated. So you take 2, 3, 6, 50 of them, wad them all up, and then just watch them begin to separate themselves. And so Vivid created a line of characters here that many different characters that you can collect, and then they have small collections, 2 or 3 in one, single in a bag, half a dozen. This is with a larger character, and then they even had larger accessories like the this would be a larger set with a bunch of characters in it, of the Fungus Among Us characters, and then they would even do things like this, which would allow you to catch the Fungus Among Us. I think this would sort of allow you to grab them and wheel them up in there. So Fungus Among Us, collectible, fun to play with characters that little boys loved. Fungus Among Us. Squash them together and watch them expand. Fungus Among Us, almost alive. WeBeToys.